Welcome to the Know Before You Go Travel Show, where we share all the latest travel tips, tricks, and insights to make your next vacation the best one yet. So sit back, relax, grab a cocktail, and enjoy the show with Penyak Travel's George Penyak and our senior travel consultant, Janet Penyak.
Happy Friday, everybody.
Yay, TGIF.
TGIF, and we are back for another episode of the Know Before You Go Travel Show with Penyak Travel. And we can't thank you guys enough for listening to us. It's our Friday. We hope it's your Friday. Friday's a great day.
It is a great day. We got a busy weekend ahead, though. Fun weekend, but busy.
Yeah, we do have a fun weekend ahead. We have a great show ahead of us, too. Actually, we're going to talk about some great destinations for a 3-night quick getaway.
Yep.
Like a budget-friendly quick getaway that everyone looks for. But before we get into that, yeah, we got a busy weekend.
Yep, we're going to a wedding. George is actually in it.
I'm a groomsman.
Yes, so I'm headed up to Greenville, South Carolina, which if you haven't been to Greenville, it's a really cool little city. So if you're ever around there, stop in and check it out. But, yep, so we're headed there in just a little bit. So
yeah, and it's a very underrated city. It's like a little gem that not many people know about, probably if you're not from South Carolina. But if you're ever driving through like the Blue Ridge Parkway and you come across like a sign, an exit for Greenville or the Appalachian Mountains and you're close by, highly recommend stopping by.
Yeah,
but yeah,
absolutely.
I'm in a wedding. I'm super stoked. We speaking of quick getaways, we just did the bachelor party a few weeks ago and we did the Kentucky Bourbon Trail.
Oh yeah,
that might be one we have to talk about on the show, because that would be a really good quick getaway for people.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And who doesn't like good bourbon?
Yep.
So, but anyways, yeah, super excited. It's one of my high school friends getting married. He's been a great friend of mine for 20-something years now, and really, really stoked to stand next to him at the altar.
Yeah.
So, and he would have been in our wedding. However, he was deployed. He's in the military, so he was in Kuwait, I think it was.
Yep.
And I'll never forget this. He called me on my wedding day from Kuwait.
Yeah.
And I got emotional because it was really cool because, he's all the way across the world, but he still thought about me on my wedding day and, wished he could have been there, but called me, and I was super surprised. I wasn't expecting it. And, we laugh about it because, I told him when he called me, I said, hey, man, I just envision you, behind some sort of rock getting shot at, and you're on this big phone with an antenna.
Yeah.
He goes, no, it's not like that at all. He goes, I was in the barracks. It had the internet and stuff. I was in my bed. I was like, oh.
Yeah, just chilling. But we thank him for his service and everyone else.
Yeah. And service members usually get pretty good deals on travel for the.
Yeah, you tend to get a little bit of a discount with some resort chains, and some cruise lines also offer military discounts as well.
Yeah, one way to kind of reduce the cost of a quick getaway.
Yes.
So, anyways, but yeah, we're excited. Happy Friday if it's your Friday. So we have a great show, and we don't really know where to start. So we're not going to really rank these places as top to bottom our favorite.
Yeah,
but
no, it's just some cool ideas on things that you can do. You and say a girlfriend, or you and your significant other, if y'all just want to get away for a quick weekend, or get away from the kids for a quick weekend. It's a great way to do that. So we just wanted to kind of give you some ideas.
You can drop the kids off at the in-laws or your parents' house, or if you don't have kids, you can sneak off with a friend or a significant other.
Yep.
Or if you're getting engaged and you want to just quickly sneak off with, or you might not be getting engaged, you got to ask first. But if you're going to ask,
right,
you think you're getting engaged, you can do a quick little getaway and pop the big question somewhere. So, I got to say too, our first travel experience together was so long ago.
Yeah, it was a quick getaway.
It was a quick getaway, and it was you and I. It was our first time traveling international together. We weren't even married yet. And
no, I was 21 years old.
And I was in college still.
Yep.
And we did the Monarch of the Seas, which is a boat that doesn't even exist anymore.
Well, actually, no, it does still exist, but it's not owned by Royal Caribbean anymore.
Yeah, we saw it.
Yeah, we saw it.
And I nailed it. I was like, oh, we were in...
we were in Jamaica, and he was like, that looks like the Monarch of the Seas. And I was like, no, that ship doesn't exist anymore. And, well, I was wrong. It was the old Monarch of the Seas that Royal Caribbean had.
Yeah, and I remember weird things like that. I'm terrible with remembering names, but I'll remember a weird oh, that's exactly the boat. How I don't know. That's weird.
Yeah, no, it is weird that you remembered that, because you definitely don't have that great of a memory.
But yeah, so we did a quick getaway, and it was our first international travel experience together, and it was one we'll never forget because we both got hooked on travel kind of through that trip, and it was a 3-night cruise to the Bahamas.
Yep, out of Port Canaveral.
And the cost on it back then was probably $99.
Well, I was going to say, I mean, you can still, you can get a 3-night Bahamas cruise if you're just looking to get away for a pretty decent price. I mean, sometimes under $1,000 just to get the cruise and the taxes and everything. If you have to fly, of course, it's going to add in some expense and then like drinks and everything. But all in all, it's definitely a great quick getaway that you can do for pretty budget friendly. I mean, between $1,000 and $2,000 after it's all said and done, after your drinks, transportation to and from, all that. So it is a great quick getaway.
Yeah, it really is. And I mean, it's so nice because you just get to the port,
Yep.
whether you can drive or fly, and then you're on the boat and they take care of the rest. So you don't have to worry about driving anywhere.
This is making me want to go
on like a quick getaway. I know,
Yeah.
like quick getaways, like 3-nighters are awesome.
Yeah, it's really fun.
You don't have to take time off of work if you have PTO, or if if you still have to work on the weekends, you have to take limited time off.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's great.
It's great, and it does feel refreshing when you pull it off, because we've done that before. We'll
Yeah.
sneak off. Like we're going to Chicago soon. That's a good
Yeah.
one. But yeah, I mean, what are like 3-nighters going for right now? Like if you're looking for like a super good deal in the fall on, say, a 3-night cruise, one that we would recommend. I mean, there's obviously some. You go online.
Well, I
and
mean,
search.
yeah, with the cruise rate and the taxes, it'd be under $1,000. You can get on there under
total
1,000.
for two.
Yeah,
that's a deal. See, you can do that if you had a crappy month at work or something,
Yeah.
and you just need to get away. Go on a cruise.
And the great thing about it too is you can go on the cruise and you don't need a passport.
Yes.
So
you do not
if
need a
you
passport.
don't have a passport yet, which obviously I always recommend having a passport, but you can get on the ship with your birth certificate and your driver's license, so you don't have to have a passport.
Yeah, and that's perfect, but we highly recommend everyone getting a passport, because eventually you're going to come across a time where you want to go and you don't want to wait.
Right.
So it's always something good to have. So the cruise lines we would recommend, if you're going to do a 3-night sneak off, I think the best ones to do, my favorite, in my just opinion, I think I would look at Royal Caribbean first, because I think they do the best ones to the Bahamas.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And they have their private island there, Coco Cay, which they're completely redoing. And I think it's supposed to open next month. Or, wait, this month.
Yeah,
we're in May.
It opens in May, yeah.
Yeah, they're not going to be fully done with it, but a lot of it's supposed to be open this month. So, but I would definitely always recommend them. And I mean, Carnival, especially if you literally just want a really cheap getaway, then
if you're going with a friend,
yeah.
See, if for us, like, we would prefer Royal Caribbean because you might have more couples and it might be a little more of a different pace. But like, if you're going with a buddy, if you're going with a bro, or if you're going with one of your girlfriends,
yeah, just go Carnival.
It's fun. You'll meet more people. It's a little more upbeat, a little more. I don't want to say wild, but it's a little more of a party.
Well, they call it the fun ships, so
and they live up to it.
Yep. And then another one too, though. Norwegian has the quick 3-night getaways too, and the great thing about Norwegian is they offer like reduced prices on their drink packages. Basically, you can get like the cruises that include a free drink package. Now
on
you
the
have to pay.
3-nighters?
Yeah, you have to on the. Mm-hmm.
Oh wow.
You do have to pay the gratuities on it, but I mean it's a great way to get all your drinks included too for pretty inexpensive. So.
And that changes the experience. I think if you follow our podcast, our take on if you can get the drinks included, what that does for your trip, because you never have to pay for them. It's so nice.
Oh right. Because a lot of times with cruises, if you don't have any drinks included, and then at the very end of the cruise,
you get that big bill.
You get your bill, and you're like, holy crap, how did I spend that much money?
We spent a lot on the Monarch, I remember.
This
like
is
$700, I think.
No, it was like $500 for 3 days.
We were having a good time. It was our first cruise experience.
Yeah, we're like, how in the world did we do that? But we did it.
It was before the days of drink packages.
Yeah.
So, but yeah,
it was before those days.
It was before those days. So we're very seasoned travelers. Like if you did, I need to put a map on our website of all the places we've been. Like pin it. It would look crazy.
Yeah, that would be.
But that's what
pretty
makes
cool.
That's what makes our agency great, though.
Yeah.
Is that like we go see these places, and I feel like there's, unfortunately, hey, I'm not trying to knock on any other travel agents, but I think there's a lot of them out there that haven't been a lot of places.
Yeah.
Just because you went on you spent 2 nights in Vegas doesn't mean you're a pro.
Right.
But speaking of Vegas is actually, I would put Vegas on our list of good quick getaways that are very cost effective.
Oh, absolutely. And another way to get it pretty cost effective, if you don't mind it. I mean, I don't think I would really do this because I don't like overnight flights. But if you take a red eye back home out of there, that tends to save you some money on the price of the flights. But yeah, you can get some great deals for a quick getaway in Vegas. And
what,
it's not just
what's the price point we're talking here for great deals? Like, I want to make sure that we're giving our audience a little something to chew on here. So when we say great deal on a 3-night getaway, what are you saying for the cruise and for Vegas? What do you think?
I mean, I already said that about the cruise.
Oh yeah, because you've done some recently. That's right.
Yeah. Well, I mentioned you can get on the cruise for under $1,000, but then after it's all said and done, you would be under $2,000 after you include drinks and if you need flights and everything. So it's a great, quick, budget friendly getaway. And with Vegas, I mean, you can get in there. I have someone going. They're spending 3 nights and then doing the red eye flight home. 2 people staying at the MGM Grand in June. They booked this about a month ago, or actually they're saying at the beginning of July. But $1,200 for 2 people with nonstop flights from Charlotte and the 3-night hotel stay. So
that's a good deal.
It is a good deal.
And MGM's really nice. That's a really nice property to go at for a 3-night. I mean, for a 3-night getaway, it's pretty good.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's a great place for a quick getaway. And Vegas is not just all about the party. Like we've done a podcast on Vegas, but we love it. Great shows, great food.
The food is so good.
Yeah.
It's like if you're not eating good food in Vegas, you're doing it wrong because the food is so good.
Yeah, there's so many great restaurants there.
And we're not really buffet people. I know a lot of people go and the buffets are great, and they are. I mean, I've been to them. They're very, they're expensive, but they're worth it.
Yeah.
But I love going down and getting some of these great Italian restaurants. They have great steakhouses too.
Great
Incredible
steakhouses. I mean, all kinds of cuisine.
Yeah. Like, we're not huge gamblers, but we've done the quick getaway to Vegas, and it's great. I mean,
oh yeah, absolutely, and it's a good way to also celebrate maybe like a birthday or something as just a quick little getaway.
Yeah.
Highly recommend it. So, and and that price I gave was, with flights from Charlotte, but
about
if you're
anywhere you'd get that.
Oh, yeah. Well, I was going to say, I mean, if you're in the Midwest or West Coast, I mean, it would be even less.
Cheaper. Yeah, because we're flying pretty much across the country.
Right.
So, yeah, that's a good one. And I mean, especially, like, you could go to Vegas very inexpensively for 3 nights with a friend.
Right.
With a spouse, with, a girlfriend or boyfriend. It doesn't matter. Like, Vegas is just like that kind of place where you can have multiple types of experiences.
Yeah.
Like, you and I go and we go on dates, we go on nice restaurants, we'll go to a show, we'll do a little bit of gambling.
Right.
And then you can go with your buddies and rage it up, if you want to bro it up, or you can go with the girls and go to clubs, and you kind of get a wide variety of experiences.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's something for everyone. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
So that's a good one. And is pricing out really good? What type of, like, if you're looking for a quick getaway and you're going to build your year out and say, like a lot of people say, I have one big trip budgeted, but they might want to squeeze another trip in. What would be the best time of year, in your opinion, to squeeze in, say, to Vegas? When is that usually pricing out the best for a quick getaway?
Like, usually in the fall is a good time to go. Yep. And then, like late fall and then early winter. And then summer can be priced a little better because it's so hot there. And so a lot of people don't want to go because, I mean, you're in the desert.
Yeah, it is
over
warm.
100 degrees there every day. So, that tends to price out pretty well too. So.
Yeah. I'll never forget. Yeah, we went for my 30th birthday, and you had that limo rented for us, and that was so cool.
Oh yeah,
like,
if you want with that.
If you're going, that is before you go travel tip. So say you're booking something for spouse, girlfriend, whoever, and it's their birthday. Getting a limo, like when you land in Vegas, get your luggage, and there's a surprise limo. Like, if you want to give someone a great surprise, that blew me away because there's champagne on the limo, and when you're cruising down the Vegas Strip in like a stretch Escalade or something,
it was pretty awesome.
There's not much like it. I mean, it was so cool. I'll never forget that because I was not expecting it.
Well, and I am really bad about keeping secrets from him, and so it took everything I had to not mention that I was doing that because I knew he would be so excited, and I was so excited. But
you did good, yeah. I'm really bad
kept
about
it because I was like,
secrets.
okay, you cannot do this. It's his 30th birthday. Don't ruin the surprise.
You got me. You got me really good.
I remember our flight was delayed. Remember, we were like 2 hours later getting in. Because they had to go around the storm, and so they like went south and then went over like Mexico and then came back up to Vegas.
It was a bad storm.
Yeah, and so the flight, which normally from Charlotte should have been about 4 hours. It was over 6 hours.
Yeah, I remember we were on that plane for a long time.
Forever, yeah.
Were we in main cabin extra then? I can't remember. I'm sure we were. Oh, they didn't have that back then.
No, we were just sitting in.
God, I'm getting old. Like everything, I'm aging, and like all this stuff doesn't exist. Monarch of the Seas doesn't exist.
Yeah.
The main cabin extra wasn't around. Like,
well, I remember
rotary phones. Yeah, when I was a kid.
Well,
I'm just kidding.
I remember landing in Vegas, and we got the limo, and then we were exhausted, because we'd been on a long flight. And the limo driver was like, "Y'all want some shots of Fireball?" And we were like, "Whoa,
whoa, yeah, you are in.
We're
Vegas.
in Vegas.
Yeah, we are in Vegas, and yeah, that was so cool. So, how many? What did that cost, by the way?
I think it was like $130 or something. It really wasn't bad.
Wow,
or 150. I might be a little off on that, but it wasn't more than 200. I don't think.
I mean, the best way. That is such a good way to do a quick getaway and then plan an additional surprise. So, if you're doing a quick getaway, not just getting away from work or something or life, if you're just going to celebrate something for a quick getaway. Surprise somebody with a limo because
absolutely.
I've done it to you. I did it to you in LA.
For my 30th birthday in LA.
We got you the limo in LA. You were shocked.
I was.
And then
because he can't keep a secret from me either, so I didn't. And plus, I didn't think that he would even know since I'm the one that does all the travel. Like,
how
booking.
To do it.
I didn't even think he could book a limo, but I guess I was underestimating you.
You underestimated me. Yeah.
We landed in LA at like 10:30 in the morning, and they had like balloons in there, and it said happy birthday, and they had a bottle of champagne. And we're like, well, we can't let the champagne go to waste. I know it's 10:30 in the morning, but oh well.
Time to have some shit. It's your 30th birthday. It's a big celebration. Yeah, we did it. That was so cool. And, if you're going to do that, like one thing that we do at Penyak Travel is if you are planning a quick getaway for a birthday or anniversary or something that's kind of a surprise, or if they know about the trip but you want to sprinkle in some surprises, we can help you with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
We do it to each other all the time, and we've given and received, and it's awesome. Another thing you could do, and I know we're kind of getting a little bit off topic, but surprises for a significant other, if you were going to like an all-inclusive, would be a dinner on the beach.
Yeah, private candlelight dinner. I mean, there's usually an extra charge for that.
Yeah, there is, but it's worth it.
Yeah, absolutely. So
couples massage. There's all sorts of things you can do to really wow somebody if you're, popping the big question, or if you're just doing a surprise,
right.
Spicing up the romance a little bit. But yeah, anyway, now we're getting way off topic.
Yeah, let's not go down that road.
We'll save that for another podcast.
Yeah. So some other cool things and places to do for quick destinations.
So we don't
here in the U.S.
So real quick, we checked the box on a cruise.
Yep, 3-night Bahamas cruise.
3-night Bahamas cruise, and I think you could probably get away with 3 nights in Vegas, very affordable.
Oh, absolutely. Yep.
And then what are you thinking here for number 3?
You could definitely get down, and I know we just did a podcast on this, but like Cancun for a quick 3-night getaway is generally pretty inexpensive, and it's an all-inclusive, probably around $2,000, maybe a little more, a little less, depending on how far you book and when you're going. But that's a great 3-night getaway where you can just go enjoy a beautiful beach, beautiful water, all-inclusive experience, and then come back home. And it doesn't take that long to get to, at least not from the U.S. You can get there from Charlotte. It's like a 3-hour flight. So
yeah, and I agree with you there. Cancun is a great spot. And also a trick is if you're going to look at a 3-night getaway, you're going to want to stay at a property that's near the airport.
Right.
You don't want to land somewhere and then have a 2-hour transfer if you're only staying for 3 nights.
Right.
The trick is, in my opinion, if you're going to fly and go to an all-inclusive or go to a destination and you're flying, you're going to have to do it early because you want to get the best bang for your buck time-wise. Right. So try to get in early and then make sure the resort is near the airport. And it does, like, a lot of these resorts are near airports, and it's not bad. Like, it's not like you're hearing these airplanes fly over all the time. It's really, you really don't notice it. Because a lot of times the airports are further out. But I see too much where you can get into a situation where you're online just doing some research. You don't really know where this property is. You're just like, oh, you fly into Jamaica, and then, you have 2 hours, and by the time you get to the property, it's 5 o'clock.
Well, there is one place in Jamaica that I will always do a 3-night getaway that is far from the airport.
Well, we would guess that's one of our favorite places. Yeah. But
Sandals South Coast.
Sandals South Coast. Yeah, that's one of our absolute
It's worth
favorites.
the ride.
It is. It's absolutely worth it. That's one of our top ones.
Now, some cities in the U.S., for great quick getaways.
Before we move on from the all-inclusives,
you
are. I just have one tidbit. And listen, I know you're the pro. I'm the show host. I'm just speaking.
Let's see what he comes up with.
I'm speaking from my own because I'm more of a customer than I am. I don't book anything. You and your team, you and the 10 agents we have do all the booking. I'm purely like behind the scenes guy.
Right.
But I will say this. I do know whatever you've recommended and our agents have recommended for a 3-night getaway, it's going to be a good property if you're going to go all-inclusive. Because you can go online and Google quick getaways and resorts, and you'll find some really, really
and
cheap.
it's like $599. Yeah, I mean, there's a reason it's $599.
Proceed with caution.
Yeah.
You do not want your 3-night getaway to be diminished by really poor quality service,
Right.
poor quality restaurant. So, like,
I can think of a couple right now that are like that in Cancun that I would never send anyone to because I'm not going to deal with the problems.
It's scary. I mean, you Google some stuff and you look at pictures, and then we've seen some of them firsthand. And we're like, I would love to just. We should do an ad one day. I would never do it, but like hold up a picture from Google or the website and walk up to the property and. It's kind of like they used to do with like McDonald's hamburgers. Like, here's the picture they market.
Yeah.
And here's what the hamburger actually looks like.
Right.
A lot of lower level properties do that in various locations, and you might think you're getting a cheap quick getaway, but ultimately you might be very disappointed.
Well, I mean, you are getting a cheap getaway, but
you always get
it's super cheap for a reason. Yeah.
Yeah. Rule of thumb is you almost always get what you pay for.
Yeah.
Almost always, but we try to find that sweet spot for you. But anyways, continue. Yeah, we're going to do domestic.
Yeah, so a couple cool domestic places that we came up with, other than Vegas, Chicago. Chicago is a great city. I've actually never been to Chicago, surprisingly, but George has been several times.
It's one of my favorite cities in the world.
Yeah, and so we have a wedding to attend in Michigan. So I was like, well, let's just loop this in, because then it's only 2 hours to where we have to be for the wedding. So we're going up there in about 3 weeks. But everything that George has said is it's a great city for a 3-night getaway. So you can talk on that a little more since I don't really know much about it.
Yeah, we're about to go to it too. So we're staying downtown at the one of the Marriotts downtown. And what I love about Chicago specifically is this area called the Magnificent Mile. And you can stay in any hotel in that area, and you can walk anywhere. The weather's really good in the summertime because you're far up north.
Right.
And there's just so much to try and do. Like, you'll literally walk down the street, and there's restaurant after bar after comedy place, and there's so much to do. And what I also love about Chicago, a lot of people compare it to New York and compare it to LA and these other Dallas and those big cities, and they're all very big cities. What I love about Chicago is every time I've been, it's never felt overly crowded. Now, traffic is bad. Like, getting from the airport to downtown, that's tough. Like, if you're not flying into Midway or something, if you're flying into O'Hare, it is tough because you're going to have you have to take the train in, which I've never done, but I've always done either cab or Uber. And
I think we should try the train.
No, I'm going to stick with the cab. I just would rather do the cab or the Uber.
I think we could do the train.
Yeah, we might. We'll talk about that off air. Anyways, but no,
I knew he was going to say that.
Like, just the scenery, because you're right there on the water, on the Great Lakes. It's beautiful. The weather's always good, and it's never so the downtown area never really feels that crowded. Like, I was in New York, and I was in New York City last year, and I love New York City. It's a lot like walking around New York City feels a lot like walking around downtown Chicago, but there's so many people. Like, there's like 20 people on each street corner during the lunch hour just trying to walk across the street. Where Chicago, it wasn't ever that bit crowded, and I don't know. It's just a really cool experience. And the restaurants are really good. A lot of rooftop lounges to go see. We get great views. You can go on top of the John Hancock building, which we will.
Yeah, I'm excited about that.
There's a lot of cool stuff.
And Sears Tower, but you said we're not going to do that. We're going to do the Hancock.
Yeah, cool. Sears Tower is only, I think, like one story taller than the Hancock building. And then the Hancock building, in my opinion, is a little bit better location to a lot of the other stuff that we're going to want to do. So we'll just go to the top of that, get the same experience, get the same view, and then go knock out some other stuff, either shopping or dining somewhere or something like that. So we're excited.
Okay.
Yeah, really cool.
I'm very much looking forward to it.
Super cool city.
Yeah, and then, so just speaking, since you just mentioned New York, I was going to say that's another great place for a quick 3-night getaway also.
Absolutely, yeah. And in New York,
especially if you're, if you're on the East Coast.
Yeah. I think it's quicker to get to downtown from some of the New York airports. So if you're just trying to get for like speed-wise, Chicago just seems to be a little bit longer to get to your ultimate destination. But New York might be a little quicker in that sense. But in my opinion, it just seems a little harder to walk around. It's just there's so many people. I don't know what the population size difference between Chicago and New York is, but I think it's probably pretty decent. You
Yeah.
know, it's probably a decent jump.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, domestically, or two, one of my favorite ones. Now, if you can get there, is you could do something in Key West. You could do something on South Beach.
Yeah.
And also to a very underrated place, in my opinion, is the Gulf of Mexico.
Yeah.
So if you do something on the Gulf Coast of Florida, Sarasota.
Yes, Sarasota is a very cool city.
We've done that before.
Another cool city, just speaking of Florida, is St. Augustine. That's a really neat
Really
city.
good one. Speaking of getting engaged.
Yeah, I was going to say that's where we got engaged, actually. So that's a great 3-night getaway. You can have the beach. It's a really cool town. It's the oldest city in America.
You can fly into Jacksonville, too. You fly into Jacksonville. You're literally 20 minutes south of Jacksonville.
Yeah, it's not bad at all.
It's America's oldest city.
Right.
It's got great breweries. So they have some beer breweries downtown. Very historic. But you have the beach there. You have St. Augustine Beach. St. Augustine Beach, in my opinion, every time we've been, never been that crowded.
No, it's never been crowded, so it's really nice.
You could probably get over. That's a great one.
Yeah.
Look at this unscripted. You just dropped. That's probably my favorite one. St. Augustine.
Well, there's another one that I was thinking too that we've actually done, and I've actually booked it for clients too.
What is it?
A lot of people might not have ever really thought about this, but San Antonio is a really cool city. If you're just looking to get away for a couple of days and, you know, to go see a new place, go stay down by the Riverwalk. And there's tons of restaurants and shops there. The Alamo's right there. So it's a really neat place, you know, to just go and get away for a couple of days.
That I 100% agree with that.
And it's the Tex-Mex capital of the world, apparently. And one thing that you may not know about us is we love Tex-Mex food. So
we love Tex-Mex food, and we stayed there. This was a couple of years ago, and I ate so much dang Tex-Mex food that I was getting acid reflux. And I didn't know I had this, and so I'm drinking coffee all morning, and then I'm eating Tex-Mex food for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And literally, remember, I went to the emergency room.
Yes, this was ridiculous.
Janet's rolling her eyes at me, but
because,
I was dying.
When one little thing happens, he literally thinks he's dying, and it's ridiculous.
That is fake news. No.
Yeah.
But this one instance, so I actually had like a work conference there, and you flew in afterwards, and we stayed. But we stayed on the Riverwalk, which was awesome. But I just kept eating all these dang Tex-Mex foods.
Yep.
And then what ended up happening, and if anyone out there has bad acid reflux, they'll have empathy for this. But if you have acid reflux to a point, your esophagus can actually swell, and your esophagus runs right next to your heart. And this is why I freaked out. I was eating so much Tex-Mex food that the acid's coming up from my stomach, my esophagus is swelling, and it swells and it pushes against your heart.
Yeah.
Well, your heart is now fighting for room inside your body, so your heart's reaction to just getting back into its normal place is to flush out a lot of blood and pump really hard, and it pushes back on your esophagus. And so it feels like your heart is skipping a beat. And I thought I was dying. Yeah. I was freaking out, and I was like, listen, I am going to the emergency room. And it was a younger doctor. He was about my age.
And he said he had the problem too. So
he had the same thing.
San Antonio thing.
He had the same thing. He said I was in the military,
and
I drank a lot of coffee. And he's like, I crush black coffee just like I do. Drink a lot of black coffee in the morning. Very acidic. And if you eat a couple, he goes, dude, same thing. His heart, he thought his heart was stopping. That's what it feels like. It's scary.
Right.
I mean, come on, babe.
I know. I was worried about you.
I only pull the fire alarm when it's necessary.
Okay.
So, well, anyways, I think we got a good show here, with some good destinations for quick
just
getaways.
Some ideas for quick getaways. And also, too, if you are local to the South Carolina area, I mean, who doesn't love a quick getaway to Charleston or, maybe up to Asheville in the mountains? Those are also some great spots.
Yeah, I think all of our agents have done quick getaways and have great recommendations. So if you have something that's a little more personal to you, and if you have any interest in anything we're talking about, check out our website, penyaktravel.com, click the Request a Quote button. Let us know what you're looking for, and if we can put something together for you, we will. And by the way, best part is we're zero fee.
Yep,
we are
free.
We will price match anything you see online, and you get our service and knowledge at not a penny more, and usually we can save you a little bit of money. So anyways, we love you guys. Thank you guys so much for all the support. We hope you enjoyed the episode. Have a great weekend, and we will see you next time.
See you next time.